What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. Talking to you guys today about Tom Ferry. I just finished leaving the Tom Ferry tour, but before you get in here, hop in and drop your city and state with us in the chat. And listen, if you haven't bought your tickets for Atlanta August 21st, Classy Climb Tour, and August 28th, Washington, D.C., do so. Listen, when I went today, there were several people out and about. They were happy to be out and about. The connections, the things you work on, the things you work on, long and the story short, comes from people, meeting people face to face, sales, marketing, all those things are just about the damn same. So if you don't know, I had a real estate license for a couple years here in Austin, Texas. Really didn't get to use it because I was in apartment management. You're really not supposed to use it if you keep the job as an apartment manager because it's a conflict of interest. Okay, so they make you go inactive with your license. We're not. Now, I will tell you anything with sales related. It's a sales job. It's a sales job. And what happens is people think I'm going to be a real estate agent. I'm going to dress pretty and it's going to be all glorious. But before I get in that, let me just give you the recap of the event because I know some of you are going to come in here and be like, hey, give me the recap. I got to go. So the recap of the event, he's going around the United States doing multiple cities, free, absolutely free tour, Tom Ferry. If you haven't seen him, he produces about 600 pieces of content a month on this man's internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. He's out there. And he basically teaches and coaches real estate agents on how to be the top percent, right? And what you have to learn about any industry, sales, marketing, construction, you have 80% of people who are actors, 20% of people who are doers, and 1% who are like the 1%. Well, let's say 19% that are the doers. But anyway, I went there. He gave great intel on, and everybody who's in my YouTube class, I will be there about 7:30. I will break down everything we learned today as far as the internet, YouTube, what we see projections in the future. I went to this event, even though I have an inactive real estate license, even though I went to that event, worked through it, is because you have to have your finger on the pulse of the market. You can't be out here saying, well, I'm going to save all this money, Ericka, and I'm going to go buy rental properties and I'm going to go invest and I'm going to do all this stuff. You're not. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know the trends, if you don't know where the market's moving to, you're going to have a really hard time making any money in the marketplace. Now, why am I saying that? Whether you're buying something, whether you're selling something, any of these things, right? You're not going to be able to truly make money, truly like thrive if you don't get a handle on your marketing. If you don't get a handle on the knowledge, if you don't get a handle on the marketing, if you don't know these things, it's not going to work. And a lot of people out here are going to sell you some sugar candy that it can. I sit here and tell you, I literally sit here and tell you day by day all these things. And the reason I know why a lot of people still won't do it is because a lot of people are what we call the 80%. They're actors. They go to work, they show up, they kind of do a little work, but they really don't. They really don't do any work. They really don't take the craft serious. It isn't really a drive for them. It really isn't a money winner for them. Something funny he said today at the event was the best real estate agents are the mom who got divorced. She's bitter with the ex-husband and she has kids. Why? Because she's got something to prove. She's got she's going to do something. Most married women real estate agents don't do much. They do 3 or 4 deals a year, if that. They do about $30,000 a year and keep it moving. And so when I tell people it's all sales and people don't want to hear that, it's because they know it will require them to do more than be an actor. So when we were there today, he gave great points on YouTube, the internet, social media, all kind of stuff. Just gave amazing information that I know for a fact is accurate. Because I'm on YouTube. I'm in these marketing spaces. I'm not a realtor looking to just now make my first YouTube video. And maybe I'll do Google lead ads and all this stuff. This is stuff I've been telling you. If you're a middleman to millions, we talked about Google lead ad services. Google local service ads, right? And if not, I'll go check it and make sure I update that later tomorrow or later on Thursday, whatever. So I think it's a good event for you to go to because you kind of see who's who in the marketplace. A really great thing happened is he took a lot of questions. There was a black guy in there today asking a ton of questions. There was a guy who was 18 years old who was like, what do you want me to do? And long and short answer, get on the team, work the phones, be like, do you want to see a house today or tomorrow? I remember when I was an agent and you wanted to do apartment management, you had to go, do you want to see apartment today or tomorrow? And if people were like, well, maybe next week, maybe, like you put them on the calendar and stuff. But you didn't take that person serious because it wasn't an immediate need for them to get this done today, right this moment, right there, right now. And that's the people you really want to work with. And so a lot of times what happens is, how do you get to the people that want to do something right this moment, right now? They don't have any time to spare. A lot of times you get those people because let's just go honest with it. They want to leave California. They want to leave New York. They got to leave now. They have not a lot of choice. Their back's against the wall. They got to sell their house in 60 days. They got to relocate. That's the people you want. Because at the end of the day, that person is like, I got to go now. I got to leave now. I don't have any time to wait. I don't have any time to waste and think about it. And maybe I'll do it. And maybe call me back in a month, Bill. I'm thinking about it. You have place in the marketplace for those people. You can call and follow up with all your leads every 90 days, no problem. You can do that. That's not a problem. What ends up happening is people are confused on what work really looks like, right? They think, hey, I'm on social media. Hey, I make these calls. I talk to people. I'm really busy, Ericka. I'm really working my butt off. And then you kind of realize they're not. They're really not working that hard as they declare they are. And sometimes people get their feelings hurt when you talk about that. So let me see how many of y'all are in here. 72. What's up? Put it in here. Yeah. So again, this guy, Tom Ferry, he left from California in 2017 because he sent his son down here to college at SMU. And if you've ever been to SMU, it's a beautiful campus, absolutely beautiful. So I'm in the room with people. There are people there who are supporting their spouse. There are people there coming there. They're working with them. And what you have to learn is, and I'll give a ton to the YouTube class, but you have to pick a reason and a way to dominate in the market. So if you're a real estate agent, you're like, I'm going to dominate with direct mail. I'm going to dominate with phone calls. I'm going to dominate with open houses. Pick a strategy for sure and just boom, 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 every single day. Consistent, right? There's something what people don't understand is if I Google your business, does your business exist? Right? And a lot of times people have a sunk cost theory. I've been telling y'all about this. Well, if I spend $62 on Google lead ads, am I going to get this many ads back? Right? Am I going to get this many phone calls? There was a guy in there spent $69 and had 3 phone calls and 2 listings. There's a guy out in Houston, he was saying spends $2,000 a month and is doing 15 listings a month. Now, I don't know if you guys understand that everybody in here is going to be real estate based, but 15 listings a month, that dude's a killer. There was a couple in there from St. Louis, closed 120 homes, and they had the freedom to be there at the event, enjoying their weekend in Austin, Texas, and then we're going to go back to St. Louis. But what people don't want to hear is there has to be some kind of consistency. Now, prime example, I'm going to tell y'all this in the YouTube class, we'll get some of this, but right here in Austin, if I go Google on my phone right now, any of y'all can do this for your city. If you Google on your phone or on YouTube, hey, I want to do a driving tour of a neighborhood or neighborhoods in Austin. There are several real estate agents. That's all they do. They drive to different neighborhoods and they talk to you about how great the neighborhood is. And look at this land, look at this curb appeal, the school, all this stuff. What's happening? The speed of trust. You're listening to this guy. You're watching him drive this neighborhood. You're like, oh my God, I'm ready to get out of California. I'm ready to get out of New York. I'm ready to get out of Connecticut. I'm ready to get out of PA. And this neighborhood looks great. Well, let me go see some of his other videos. The fact is, 81% of people right before they purchase something, go watch a video on it. Let me say that again. 81% of people surveyed, go watch a video on something before they purchase. I am a person, if I go look at a hotel, like there's a brand new hotel in Detroit. It's like 2 years old. It's not exactly brand new, but it's an old firehouse from 1920s, and it is amazing inside. What did I do? I went and looked at videos. I first looked at pictures. I said, oh, these are great pictures. I said, I wonder if there's any videos. Looked at a video, went ahead and booked it. Why? Because the video sold me on, I already knew I wanted it. I already knew I was going to have to visit for a business trip to go check on all our properties. Guess what I need to do? Book that hotel. The video sold it. And people, let's just go there. People don't read. Now, people should read more. That's just what it is. But most people don't read. If they can watch a video on it, kind of give them a summary, it's in the background playing, or they have to look at a picture, they'll play a video. The future is video. There's a reason why all your favorite Instagrammers are now using the video on the Instagram, because Instagram's wanting more video. Also on the fact that a lot of them are going over to YouTube. Why? Because they want to get that base. They want to get that money. So Tom Ferry hit really great SEO points, really great things that I think will be helpful for just about anybody. Would I recommend you go to it? Yes. That's the short answer. Go to the free meeting. After the free meeting, you get some drink tickets. You get some good snack food. I had 2 glasses of wine. And I had a little comedy off the balcony. There was a guy in his apartment came outside naked, spray tanning himself. And everybody out in the bed, there's like, what is happening? So we had a little comedy today. But that's just my 2-cent review. If you're in Houston tomorrow, I think he goes to Houston tomorrow. Yesterday he was in Dallas. And it just kind of was interesting. So I think what you're going to see in a couple years, and this is just my opinion here, what you're going to kind of see in a couple years is for Texas. I'm just telling you, for Texas, our real estate's going to be crazy like this for 3 to 4 years. Now people say, oh no, Ericka, but it is. I'm telling you, when I meet people who've moved here, sight unseen, still to this day, hey, I walked it all through with my realtor. They did me on the phone. I got to see the new construction and I'm here. People are still moving like that to Austin. People are still moving like that to Dallas. People are still moving like that to Houston. And see, here's what happened. If the economy does take a turn, which it is what it is, people who already were like, see, I told you we should have moved to Texas, that husband and wife are going to move to Texas. It just is what it is. It's like the people that move to Atlanta. I'm moving to Atlanta. Don't got no job, don't got no apartment. They just know they moving to Atlanta. That's a lot of what you're going to see here. Especially on the lockdown. You're going to say, Ericka, why were people buying houses during the lockdown? He had on the screen data, y'all. Like step-by-step data showing that first people were home and companies were like, yeah, we're going to stay remote longer. And people were like, I cannot live smashed up in these houses in a small apartment or a small house with my whole family for long extended periods of time. That's the period, right? So people try to say, oh, it's all these hedge funds buying and foreign buyers. Yes, foreign buyers are buying. Yes, hedge funds are buying. But at the end of the day, people were like, I got to get up out this house. And the fear, the FOMO, fear of missing out, is stronger than anything, right? And if you guys are liking this content so far, drop a 1 in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Drop a 1 in the comments. But I want to encourage you to get out and do in-person stuff. Now, why am I encouraging you to do that? 1, I have my tour coming. I want you to see you in person. It'd be great. But 2, the people that you see in these rooms that actually get out are really going to be your go-getters the next 3 to 4 years. When I can look back now at FidCon, right? I can look back at people that were at the event. Now this year they're speaking on stage. Annalise, who was on the channel, is speaking on stage. Virtual assistant, right? Several people that we've had on here on YouTube are going to be speaking at FidCon. I met Kendra Barnes 3 years ago at FidCon. We stayed at a Airbnb in Florida off the rip. So a lot of times when you go to these in-person events, this is the best space for you to get somebody who's like-minded, go-getter, forward-thinking, progressive. I'm trying to be careful with the words, but this is where you're going to meet people who are actually going after it. There was a couple there, and one lady was a coach for Tom Ferry's company, and her fiance right here in Austin was a AC, what do you call it? AC repair, right? He owned an AC company. And we're talking to him like, hey, did you get some good stuff out of it? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, several of the AC guys I work for, independent contractor guys, they're already doing Google local service ads. They're already spending that money They're already keeping good databases of their customers. They're already doing follow-ups with their customers every 90 days. I'm telling you right now, people that are watching off the sidelines and saying, maybe next year, maybe I'm thinking about it, or you'll still be there in a year from now. And I know it's true. I was kind of laughing when the woman was talking about it, that she'll follow up with agents 6 months from now and they're still stuck. It takes a lot. Now, I'm not recommending coaching for everybody. I'm not going to say that. We did do a 50% off sale ourselves. You can grab that 50% off calls this week before we go on the road. I think next 2 weeks before we go on the road. People won't do what's more than comfortable. The other day, I did a workout with my trainer and I did a kickboxing workout afterward, later that evening. I was so dehydrated that I went and got an IV earlier today. IV wellness today, because I was doing something out of the normal, out of my comfort zone. And I knew if I didn't show up at the kickboxing class, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to go to Gold's Gym and maybe walk on the treadmill and say, hey, I worked out twice today. When it comes to coaching in some of these sales fields, people don't want to make calls. He made a very funny part where he said the average person will show up at the office, go to the bathroom, go get coffee, go get themselves set up, do a little bit of work before lunch, go to lunch, then come back and be mad at themselves because they really didn't do a bunch of work all day, and then go home and complain, right? Jim, it's 50% off. Just go hit the Calendly link. I think it's in here somewhere. We have the Calendly link in here. And so what happens is you will not go outside of your norm. Now, here's another thing. People don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. The best thinking you have right now have you where you are. Like you could be clear, not drinking, sitting at your house, woo-sawing. Your thought process has gotten you where you are right now. That's it. That's it. Some people don't want to hear that, but your thought process has gotten you where you are right now. If you like your results, great. If you don't like your results, then what's the holdup? It's you, right? And so a lot of times, this is why I understand people get real estate coaches. If you go, there's some numbers that you will see that'll blow your mind. COVID took a lot of the smaller, 50% of the people that are the small guys, COVID basically took them out. COVID just basically got them down to 9% of the industry. The guys who were the top 50% in real estate killed it. They killed it during COVID. They killed it now. Why? He gave a great analogy. It's like the three little pigs: house with the straw, house with the sticks, and house with the bricks. A guy and girl. The link's not working. It's in the chat, y'all. Let me see here. It's straight off the website. And so what happens is the people who were kind of half-assing it. Oh, it's working? Okay. So the people who were kind of half-assing it before the pandemic came and whoop, took them on out. Right? It took them down to a lower registered level. That's why you see so many people going, oh, how's real estate doing? It's doing bad. Man, it's doing so bad. Right? The people who were doing direct marketing, he was talking about a guy in New York. He sends like direct mail to apartments. Now, why would he send it to apartments? Because people are crammed up in them apartments in New York. So they like, I got to go. I got to get a house. I got to go. And he says, what's South New York? Florida. I was like, that's pretty right. And so this guy spent $350,000 in direct mail to apartments in New York because people did what? Want to get out of apartments. And guess how much people spent? How much he made in commissions? $12 million. He spent $350,000 in direct mail and got $12 million in commissions in New York. Now, but here's the thing. You're going to hear a bunch of people say, well, Ericka, man, I can't spend no money. I ain't got no money. I can't spend any money on ads. The last ad guy had, it's like the dude off King of the Hill. It's a million excuses. It just is what it is. Like, pay for play is here. For the next 3 to 4 years, it'll be who pays money to be on this internet. That's it. That's it. Google knows what you're doing. And for those in my YouTube class, we got some amazing freaking links we're going to use out tonight in class from today's training. But I wouldn't have got this information if I hadn't gone. I've got friends here in Austin that do real estate full time, and they weren't even there today. The one person I had that just got kicked off real hard in real estate, she sold 3 properties this week or last week or whatever. She was there. Again, it goes you to the example. A lot of people are just routinely showing up to work, kind of following the game plan, kind of calling a couple people. Yeah, I'm kind of building my real estate business. And here I am, a person who isn't even there, right? Who isn't even involved, who isn't even, this isn't even my first thing. I'm going to ignore this for now. Thank you, Pharaoh Pope Johns. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Tanya Peppers, for the Cash Apps. Thank you, Ashley Hearn. It doesn't say any question in there, but thank you for the super chat. And so here's the thing. You have to decide. It's probably like 160 more days left the rest of this year. You have to decide, do you want to get on board? Now, it doesn't have to be real estate. It ain't got to be online business. It could just be a job, right? Do you want to get a better job? Do you want to get into that high-paying tech career? Every time I bring somebody on for Tech Tuesday, and I even made a video to this, people want a simple answer to a complex problem. What's the complex problem? We need more income. How do we get it? When do we get it? Where do we get it? What are the skills we have? So me just telling you, hey, take Linux and get a couple certificates and get a new job. That doesn't help you necessarily. You need to be really thinking, what's your long-term plan? There was a young man in there today that was 18 years old. Why? Because if you look on Instagram or you look on YouTube and you watch enough of Bigger Pockets, there are several people 18, 19, 20 years old killing it. They had one dude who was 20 years old. If you look on Bigger Pockets, he was nervous on getting on the phone, so he would text people, which to me is crazy. But he texted his way to $150,000. First year. And he knew, because when he got on the phone, he sounded so young, people didn't take him seriously. I appreciate Ashley. I appreciate that. And I just want y'all to understand that, like, there's free events going on out there on Eventbrite. There's free meetups going on out there. It's what you get out of it. It's what you put into it. It's how you make it work for you. Right? So earlier, I think Tyler Lamar had on there, like, multiple streams look like multiple struggle. It does if you're an actor. Again, we talk about the 100%. 1% are the top dogs. 19%, 20%-ish are the real doers in our groups. The 80% are just actors. They're just following through. So you can't be a mogul, right? If you're not spending money on advertising, you're not building out an actual business that has managers, marketing, sales, operations. If it's just you doing a bunch of little things running around, it's a mess. It's chaotic. So I strongly recommend you go to a lot of these events, because this is where you're going to meet people, and being in a team is better. It just is. The solo guy or girl who doesn't have accountability, they're not giving feedback to each other. Nobody can speak into your life. Nobody can talk to you. Stuff like that. That ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this video is there was a guy there and he was nice, but I could tell he wasn't convinced. Now, what's the word when I mean convinced? I mean, he wasn't convinced he could do it. Like, you're literally talking to somebody, you're like, oh yeah, me and my wife are busy doing this other thing. And I'm like, dude, just say you weren't convinced. Right? Like, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes networking with you and you're not even convinced on yourself. Like, I'm convinced in myself that we're going to keep it moving and go do something else and pivot and all that other stuff, right? that we're just a handshake away. We're just a phone call away. We're just one deal away from something else, right? So that's part of my 2 cents. Well, good job, Master J. Listen. Always figure out what works best for you, right? If you see something and you're like, man, I could add that to my portfolio, do so. At the end of the day, what I want people to understand is there's producers and there's consumers. Now, we're not all producers. We're not all consumers. We're usually a mix of both, right? We're depending on who you are. If I have something that's 10K, right? Okay, man, how many hours a day do I have to work? See, people don't really break it down like that, right? Because they want to go buy cars, they want to go on vacations. But if they really break down, okay, we're going to go to Miami and do this and do that, and it's going to cost us this much. How many hours a week am I going to have to work to get that accomplished? How many sales will I have to accomplish to do that? Right? So a lot of times what I want people to understand is figuring out the math to get there. I mean, and that was a big thing he kept saying. This is just a math equation. Now, I'm not reactivating my real estate license by no means. I like seeing people work in their craft, that they like dealing with people every day and talking to people. Because for me, I felt real estate was like me chasing you. Baby, I don't have to chase nobody, right? Like we're gonna attract people because that's feminine nature, right? Chasing is more of a masculine nature. At the end of the day, what I want you to understand is you have a good solid 6 months left in this year. If some of you who are already in the comments like, oh man, Ericka, they're going to close down again this year. Well, what should you be doing for the next 90 days? If you know October, November, December, you might have to be up in the house just because it is what it is. What are you doing in the next 90 days to take you to the next level, to get you in a comfortable position so that you're not in the house in October waiting on a stimulus check? What are you doing? Are you doing your absolute best? And this is something I ask myself. I don't just ask my students this. I ask this of myself. Are you doing your best? Are you reaching out to people? Are you contacting? Are you following up? Are you getting deals done? Are you connecting? Somebody stole our meter off one of our houses in Detroit. It took time to call and get another meter, right? But those things have to get done, right? You can delegate these things, right? If you know you're best at whatever, camera, action, DJ, whatever you are, can you delegate that work to someone else? Because there's levels to it for sure, every day, all day. And for those of you who watched a perfect timing, Dr. Dix, I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you right now, Dr. Dix is a perfect example. We were in there, Dr. Dix, and today I can't give all of it away because I'm giving it to my YouTube class. There is a computer. There's a software system. I'm gonna just say software just for sake of argument. That if you type into it a couple answers, it'll write a whole blog for you. It'll write your whole real estate description. It'll write all kind of stuff. It's literally basically a writing solution. So all those people who are selling services for writing blogs and they're a creative writer, they got a computer, an automation that is taking away your job. I was sitting there mind blown. And this is why I tell people, a lot of times people say, oh, Ericka, you just like going to conferences. Nah, I just know people are where the money is, right? Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want, right? You help enough people get to their goal, boom. Right? So that whole AI, while we were in there, I was sitting there like, damn. It literally, it can write just about everything. So people out here, oh, Ericka, I just say, girl, I ain't got no time. I can't produce no content. They've got a system to do it for you. They got a robot already doing it for you. Oh, man, I can't make these calls. We got call centers. You pay them $11 an hour in Mexico. Already there for you, right? We've got computer-generated direct mail. It just knows off of what went out, what was received, what got sent back. Okay, well, we're going to send out this many this time. Skynet's already up. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and what I feel a lot of people are going to do is they're going to wait till August. Well, I got to get my babies in school, Ericka. I got to get my children in the school first. You're going to get them kids in school. You're going to look around and realize the jobs you were thinking you were going to hop back in for some part-time, they're not going to be there. They are not going to be there. So, I had another thing. Let me see if I find it. Let's see here. A little cool ditty is $91 billion were paid out in commissions in 2020. Say that again. $91 billion were paid out in commissions. Y'all better get in where you fit in. Something he said I like, hardship makes us better. Let me tell you something. Hardship, it can burn some people out, but it also can make you better. Okay. Let me tell you something. You gotta learn that it's okay for people not to like you and not to seek this internet validation, because I'm telling you, y'all out here wanting to get your feelings hurt for no reason. You can't make everybody like you, baby. You gotta like yourself. Any extra life on top of that is a bonus. Okay. Let's just make that very clear. Let me see. Also, the gains that you got in 2020 were from 2019. The gains you'll get in 2021 and 2022 come from what you're doing this year. Because what did customers do? They flock back to quality. Now, that's not saying these new agents weren't quality. That's not saying new businesses weren't quality. But people went with what they know. People went with businesses they knew. People went with what was comfortable for them. Prime example, when we talked the other day about Dr. Dick saying they're trained you to order your food. That's all last year was. Train you how to order your food online. It trained your grandma and grandpa how to order food, order groceries. It was training all of you on how to use tech better. So you got these real estate agents like, oh girl, I just couldn't make no deals, girl. I couldn't do it. The software is there, right? There was a guy who made $12 million. He's still on every Saturday. Does open houses in California, 7 to 8 of them in a day, in a weekend. Why? Because that's how he makes his money. He's been doing it since 2006. What a lot of you got to understand is, and I'm choosing my words wisely here, is if you're a producer, like there's a Lupe Fiasco song. If you are what you say you are, superstar, have no fear. Right? I'm trying to remember the rest of the song and I can't. But a lot of the stuff when people say, oh man, I'm running a business, I'm doing that. Are you though? Are you though? Right? So again, today, listen, Isaiah, you're right. Today I had to do a televisit with a nurse to get my IV bag. And the people on staff were people who are doing the IV. And I'm a person who faints from IVs. Like I just be fainting out, right? So they were like, okay, well, we're gonna have to watch this lady. She faints, right? So they're doing the thing. I talked to the nurse. She's clearly at her house, y'all. This nurse has like a background that's got like eat, love, pray in the background on the wall. She at home. She's a nurse making bank from a Zoom call. Y'all, you better get ready out here. I don't think y'all understand what I'm telling you. I got a IV today at a recreational, supplemental IV, vitamin, saline. I was dehydrated. The nurse talked to me via a tablet on a Zoom call. Old girl's at her house with her eat, pray, love behind her, eating her lunch, okay? Come on, y'all. Y'all better wake up now. I'm trying to tell y'all, get real. Mojo, I don't know if you've been listening to the whole show. I'm not trying to insult you, but the whole show I just told you. You need to get into the jet stream of what somebody's teaching you. If you're thinking of getting insurance, you need to either be with a team or you need to be under a coach, somebody that's going to show you how you need to be consistent. Because here's the thing. Everybody thinks they're a hard worker. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know the path you're charting, how can you work hard? How can you hold yourself accountable? You can't. You need accountability. I often get in rooms with people that may tell me something I don't like because I need that. Andre Hatchett, what's up, Andre Hatchett? He tells me things I don't like. Several of my friends tell me things I do not want to hear. Because if not, we can't get better, man. We cannot get better as a person, as people, at all. As business owners. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. There you go. Roscoe, those machines are here. The Skynet. There you go. It really doesn't. Man, Melinda, Suzanne, listen, anybody who, if you're in any of my classes, I've talked about it all the next few weeks, feel free to book a 15-minute call with me for absolutely free. If you're in my classes, only thing I ask is a beautiful testimonial. That's all, in exchange for our beautiful contact. Thank you. I appreciate you. Uh-oh, y'all got some more in here. Hold on. Hello, credit solutionists. We'll see you later in class today. In appreciation for Ericka showing me this man, the power of this man's internet. I'm telling you. Statistical Atlas, Realtor.com, Google Maps. Listen, I'm telling you, let me tell you, there was something already in there. And this is why it's so funny. This is why I keep wanting to get this. I want to tell y'all this again. Okay. And I know y'all think, oh, she's harping on a dead animal. Tom Ferry, who has over 600 pieces a month of content all over this man's internet, who's made millions of dollars, who's helped other people make millions of dollars. He gave tips in there, and the resistance, one lady who completely been in real estate a long time was like, I just don't know. I don't know if I can take a picture of that. He said, are you serious? Google Maps already done took a picture of your house, baby. When you sign up on this Facebook, you already let the internet know you was, hey, my name is Susie, and I'm married, and I'm gonna do this. Like, you already let that go. You already let go of that privacy, right? And so there's agents dominating certain markets and neighborhoods because why? The other person drove past the house. I'm like, who's selling their house? I'll take a picture of that. Do you know how many times I drove by a house for sale and took a picture of the actual sign? I don't care if it's Remax. I don't care if it's Keller Williams. I don't care. I'm trying to see who sold that house. Who? Let me talk to them, right? One of the biggest, and I forgive me, I don't remember her name at the moment, but she's one of the biggest commercial real estate agents in all of Austin. She's a Black woman. I didn't know that. You know why I didn't know that? Because I ain't in commercial yet, right? And as I got in the commercial, they're like, my friend was like, oh, you need help? I said, yes, I need help. I need help in commercial. Somebody help me. Oh, here's her number. I done went on LinkedIn. I'm like, damn, I didn't know this lady existed. And my biggest thing is I would have not known she existed if I didn't call my friend, who is a white man, right? And he wouldn't have referred her to was what? It's in your network. It's who you know. It's what you know. Can go from there. Right? So a lot of y'all laugh and joke about affiliate marketing on the community page on YouTube, but there's several people go, man, thank you for that. I'm buying the mobile notary course today. Thank you for posting this other thing. I'm gonna buy this other course today. Because if I know something that can potentially help you, I'm just here to share it. There's a great book called Super Connectors, and that's all I aspire to be. I want to connect you to where you're trying to go. I have some great answers, but if my answers don't work for you, I want you to get where you need to be. Why? Because we really don't have time to play this game. Your children don't have this time. Your spouse don't have this time for you to be like, I think about it, maybe, I don't know. Right? And that's a lot of what we have in the market. I'm telling you, Jordan Williams, I wasn't ready. Mojo, I know people say this, but I really don't. And the reason why I say I don't is because I do this every day. I've done over 6,000 paid phone consultations. I literally get up and repeatedly do this. I had a sales background before I got on YouTube. And what I realized is a lot of people, the reason they feel, I'm going to just say this and don't hurt your feelings. The reason people have imposter syndrome is because they're not committed. They're not committed. They think about it. They might want to do it. It's possible. No. We have to get committed. It can't be based off feelings because let's just go there. Let's use Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold. Every day you get up, don't you sell yourself on your spouse? Don't you sell yourself on your job, on your car? Now, what do I mean sell yourself? Man, I'm so grateful to have this car. I'm glad this car is working. Right? Don't you go and say, man, I'm so grateful. Man, I'm glad I ain't out in these streets with these hood rats. Got a good woman, right? Don't you do that? Don't you get up? That's how I get up on this YouTube. I'm convinced something I have is useful and life-changing for you. So I come on here and I do it, right? I even batch record a bunch of stuff for the future when I'm going to be on vacation because I'm that much a believer in it. And I already know out of 100 people, I'm not going to wake up 60 of them because they want to stay asleep. Now, the 40 that I'm getting their attention, they're like, out of those 40, maybe 4 to 10 will really take action. But it's worth it to me. Every single person I wake up is another Black person or Hispanic, Latino, whoever. Because some of y'all have wildly surprised me at my meetup events. Had several Asian men too who bought consulting. Everybody that I wake up and I go, hey, here and this and there. Every time I do that, I know that changes that person's life. That eliminates the excuse that, man, I don't know no Black people doing that. I don't know no people doing that. Well, I ain't never had nobody in my family start a business. Well, that excuse is over. Your Uncle Joe over there did it. Because see, we all know the thing. I think Linda Cameron said the other day he couldn't understand why so many people were in trucking or gravitating towards trucking because we know so many people who drive a truck. We know so many people who deliver packages for Amazon. Percentages of Black people in driving jobs is high. It is high. So people gravitate to what they're exposed to. So let me expose you to as many great people that can come on this show and be interviewed and talk and all that good stuff. Let me expose you to all this data because I know the average person the average person gets something like, let me get a Chick-fil-A sandwich today. Yeah, we'll get a Chick-fil-A sandwich. And they go to work and they go on about their day. They're on a low information diet, right? When Wingstop all of a sudden changed the fast stop, people like, what's going on? Where the chicken wings at? You didn't know there was a chicken shortage? It's been in the news, right? Somebody wakes up today, we need a new house, baby. We need a new house. And this person over here is a real estate agent like, well, sir, you didn't know Apple's coming here and bringing 5,000 jobs, maybe 20,000 jobs surrounding the building? That's going to change housing prices. The average person isn't even awake to that. The average person is like, I want to go on a Disney cruise this year. I should get the bag saving. That's the average person. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to get up every day and you want to go to your job and that's how you want to live, do you, boo. But guess what? Don't complain. When something goes left, don't complain. So there you go. That's scary to me. Thank you, Melania Suzanne. Wildfire, I understand the frustration. There's a lot of free stuff, but the frustration people have is someone's teaching you something that's going to make you $150,000 to $250,000 a year. And I'd even go, let's say even $90,000, $250,000 a year for in infinity, for as long as you can work and keep up and be updated at your job. They're not going to give it to you for $99. And I know people go, well, Ericka, that's the average person don't make a lot of money. And it's true, the average person doesn't make a lot of money, but it doesn't mean they have to lower the price. That's just is what it is, right? Oh Lord, I got a lot of comments here. Who started the Ivy? It was she's a you have a nurse practitioner and she's one of the levels. That's right. Jeffrey, I mean, I know people laugh, but I'm a person when it comes to healthcare. I had like bad experience with a military hospital, and so I'm like this now. I'm like, ooh, like I don't trust it. I don't trust the dentist either. I'd be like, look, hurry up. So anybody enrolled in for those that count for Wildflower, yeah. If you're going to give a testimonial. So if you already did testimonial, then it is what it is. There you go. Keep working. Hey, I hear you. I hear you. There you go, Mark Teller. Mark Teller. Help each other out. So there's about 6 other Black women that are billionaires on the list. So thank you. I appreciate it. Congratulations on your stock gains. Oh, thank you so much, Queen of Crypto, for the $50 support. Tam said the doors of the church are open. They open today. Thank you, Mojo. Yep, there exactly. It's the community. Listen, and that's why we're doing the tour. The ClassyCon tour is not about me. It ain't about Dre. It ain't about Tim Jackson. It ain't about Money Madu. Who else? Charles Oglesby. It ain't about all the 50,000 people we're bringing on stage. It's about how do you go in your community and be a thought leader? How do you go in your community and make impact? I can tell you right now, when I went that Tom Ferry thing, there's probably about 5 people in that room that's gonna go home and kill it. There was a Hispanic dude in there, and I Hispanic and Black realtors crack me up because they are the smoothest when it comes to clothes. They are just the smoothest. There was a Hispanic man in there, clean cowboy boots, blue jacket, and all the ladies around his table that I think work underneath him, dressed to the nines. They had their little jackets, their little blazers, their little Latina pants going on. And it reminds me of the black realtor ladies in Atlanta. You can tell a particular type of clothing and cloud. And so it really is. It's not about me. It's about people who are going to go and do big things with it. So they really don't. They really don't. They don't be watching this news. So I stopped Rick Ross. They don't even know. Thank you, Sid. I know. I am probably going to do another one. I felt so much better after that. I was like, yes, I'm back. Thank you for the 49 super chat. The prodigal has returned. I appreciate your mission and consistency. Don't get dehydrated again. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Yes, it was one of those. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was so busy in there trying to not look at the needle, and then when she took it out, there was a little bit of blood. She was like, "Okay, I'm sorry about that." And I'm like, "Girl, don't tell me. I'll fall out of this chair." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know. Well, Tam, that's the thing. That's the thing. You have to understand they're working in a group. They're working on a team. That's my biggest thing when I tell people doing those teams really make a lot of money. So that's all I have for y'all today. Really was the rest I'll save for my YouTube class. But listen, get serious. I've had several phone calls today with people who are like, "Oh, lockdown about to happen again." It is. But are you in position this time not to worry about if Biden gonna give you a check? Are you in position this time so you don't got to worry about your kids having to be homeschooled? Are you in position this time to know, okay, I need to stack up on some food because I'm gonna have to cook more meals at home because we on the lockdown? You dig what I'm saying? So you have to really be honest with you guys, with yourselves. Are you in a position to do better? So, oh, Aaron Clary. Oh, listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. There's only 3 ways that people really grow businesses, and it's really from raising prices, new customers, and I forgot what the other one is. I'm so tired. But a lot of times, what I want people to see, what I want them to understand, and what I want them to see is that you got to get after it. No matter what y'all change, whatever you choose, you're going to have to get after it. And you cannot wait and say, well, I'll go buy that thing later when I have time or money, because those same things won't be available. They just won't be. They just won't be. Get an indoor grill, girl, get it. Diana Perez, I put it in the community tab, Andre Hatchett's class, but I'll also put it in the description. So look, you guys, I got to go into my YouTube class. You guys have been great tonight. See you on the Classy Climb tour. Do not miss out on Atlanta, August 21st, and Washington, D.C., August 28th. You guys have been amazing. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all you do. You guys have a great day.